Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Koholo Yamla, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim. Rakaha Kodash, double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. We just want to say the water to all the Akim and Akwap that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Wanted to touch on this article I was watching on Euro News, so I kind of went into it. And then, a couple of different networks are pretty much, holding it down on this as far as this article. Salakia. Yeah, that wasn't what I'm trying to go on. What is that? Come on, bro. Anyway, here we go right here. This is one in the AP, Associated Press. It says President Biden to apologize for 150-year Indian boarding school policy, right? We're just not going to help America at all. America's going to fall. They're going to pay for what they've done to the children of Israel, because these will be the tribe of Gad, so to speak, or, maybe one of the other tribes, but Northern Kingdom, basically. And this lady right here, this is Deb Haaland, if I'm pronouncing her name right. With this gentleman to the left is Russell Eagle Bear with the Rosebud Sioux Reservation Tribal Council. And, she made, Interior Secretary, but she's not supposed to be usurping authority over the man. So she's really, going off by being in that position. But this is America. They try and appease minority, so to speak, with one of the people of the minorities, but generally they would always put women before us. So it's still a slap in the face, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just wanted to get into some of the article. And it says President Joe Biden is expected to formally apologize on Friday for the country's role in the Indian boarding school system, which devastated the lives of generations of indigenous children and their ancestors. So why isn't Kamala coming? Isn't he supposed to be so out of it that, what I'm saying, he's not able to really speak like that? So, anyway, it's a joke. We know what it is. Let's get this, though, real quick. Psalm 64, and I'll jump right back into it. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So just them admitting to this, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that going on lately. Just them admitting to this is they're actually telling on themselves, because this is something that they would never admit to before. But this social media is kicking their asses. And that's to go along with, the Pope, all these Catholic churches, you know what I'm saying, all the different things that these so-called white people have done to our people over centuries, man. And it's all coming to light because the Lord is bringing it forth. And really, in reality, let me get this one real quick, too. This is what's really going on. And this is a part of this ministry. This is a part of the doctrine. Well, we had to call this man out. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. And what day is that? The coming of the Lord, Yahushai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Except there come a falling away first. And that has already happened to the Israelites. That's a part of what we're reading in this article, us falling away from our culture and falling away from our heritage, and calling ourselves, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and all these different bywords, that the Edomites gave us as names, when they fully know that we are the Israelites. But we had to fall off, as far as prophecy-wise, and now in these last days, the prophecies are playing out, where the man of sin must be revealed, and that's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So it reads on, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Let's start that back from the top again. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, the coming of the Lord, except there come a falling away first, which we fell away, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the man of sin is being revealed right now, the son of perdition. And that's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the white race, man. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. He the one that, sent our people to those boarding schools and, those Catholic churches, showing our people that some image of a so-called white man being a god, or showing us some image of the so-called white man being the king or savior of our of them as a people. This man gave you his image, and he's still pushing that image to this very day. It's just that that shit is folding and it's phasing right now. So these types of stories are very important because the man of sin must be revealed. That's the point that I wanted to bring out in that. He's being revealed just by seeing atrocious stories like this, man. This man has committed all kinds of war crimes in the earth, man. All types of crimes against humanity. He's still doing it to this day. He's all over the world, man. Bombing people, doing, pushing and forcing his shit on people. Their, curriculum, their boarding schools, their system of the way to live. He's pushing this on our people and pushing this shit on the world. So it says, she says, I would never have guessed in a million years that something like this would happen, said Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, a member of the Pueblo of Laguna. It's a big deal to me. I'm sure it will be a big deal to all Indian country. Shortly after becoming the first Native American to lead the interior, Haaland launched an investigation into the boarding school system, which found that at least 18,000 children, some as young as 4, were taken from their parents and forced to attend schools that sought to assimilate them in an effort to depossess their tribal nations of land. It also documented nearly 1,000 deaths and 74 grave sites associated with the more than 500 schools. This is what Esau done, man. We all went to one of these fucking schools, man. It's a lot. Come on, man. I don't want to donate nothing. It says, no president has ever formally apologized for the forced removal of Native Americans, Alaska Native and Native Hawaiian children, an element of genocide as defined by the United Nations, or any other aspect of U.S. government's decimation of indigenous people. Okay, so, this man is starting to be accused, or he's starting to be revealed. That shameful spewing. Matter of fact, let's rock into that. Yeah, man, he's not getting around it. And it's pretty much overall to really rile you, they're just trying to get an extra vote. They're feeling like, of course they're losing on the Arab side of things. I would say, these Palestinians and, these Yemenis people and Lebanese people or Americans that's here, they losing that vote pretty much. So they're trying to make up for it, by possibly tapping into you so-called Native American Indians. They pushing real hard to pull you so-called blacks back in, on the vote. And, they're trying to really make up some ground, so to speak, overall, probably. It's just me speaking as a man. But these people are wicked as hell, man. Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. See, all your little glory is shameful now. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Yeah, let the world see your ruthlessness, man. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And that goes off into matter of fact, let's go to, that's going off into Psalms chapter 7. Try and make it pretty quick. I got 12%. I don't know how quick this. I haven't used this phone in a while. Should have had it charged up, but let's see what we can get real quick. 7, and let's start at 13. It says, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. So the Lord is about to get down on y'all. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it. See, this is what's going on with you so-called white people. You made a pit and you digged it, and it's falling into the ditch which he made. You're falling into the very ditch that you dug up, man. You're reaping what you've sown, basically, and it's about to get real hardcore for y'all. His mischief shall be upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own pate, which that word pate goes off into head as well. His own things are about to come back on this guy, man. This is pretty much what you're seeing or witnessing happening. Galatians 6 and 7. But let's go back in here real quick. Let's read a little bit more. We'll come back, grab a couple more scriptures for my little jack die What else it says? It says, during the second phase of the investigation, the Interior conducted listening sessions and gathered the testimony of survivors. One of the recommendations of the final report was an acknowledgement of and apology for the boarding school era. There wasn't no damn error. That was just the wickedness of these people, and they're still wicked to this day. They haven't changed. H.I.M said she took that to Biden, who agreed that it was necessary. H.I.M, whose grandparents were forced to attend boarding school, said she was honored to play a role, along with her staff, in helping make the apology a reality. H.I.M will join Biden during his first diplomatic visit to a tribal nation as president on Friday as he delivers his speech. Why is this your first diplomatic visit to people that you supposedly have treaties with? All presidents should be standing before those people when they come in. This your first time there? In the past 4 years that you done been there when you out of your damn mind now? Incredible. It says it will be one of the high points of my entire life, she said. And you proud for this shit, man. It's not going to get you nowhere. It's not going to do anything for your people at all, man. Because you'll have somebody like Trump come in there and get rid of anything that y'all put together on this. Or Kamala Harris, for that matter. Okay, it goes on to say it's unclear what, if any, action will follow the apology. Yeah, it's not going to be no action. What the fuck are you talking about? We know that. This man is the damn devil. He plays the same playbook. He been running the same plays forever. What you mean you don't know what kind of action will follow? What the fuck is the apology about? See? It says the Department of Interior is still working with the tribal nations to repatriate the remains of children on federal lands. Many tribes are still at odds with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which has refused to follow the federal law regulating the return of Native American remains when it comes to those still buried in Carlisle Indian School in Pennsylvania. These motherfuckers won't even give you the damn, let you do a proper burial if you wanted to. So what the fuck do you think is going to happen? This man, he's showing you he's the devil. It says President Biden's apology is a profound moment for Native people across this country. Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskins Jr., probably a damn Edomite himself, because you got a lot of $5 Indians. You know, some of these people are damn Edomites themselves, you know, fronting like they Indians. It says, our children were made to live in a world that erased their identities, their culture, upended their spoken language. Oklahoma was home to 87 boarding schools in which thousands of our Cherokee children attended. Still today, nearly every Cherokee Nation citizen somehow feels the impact. Friday's apology could lead to further progress for tribal nations still pushing for continued action from the federal government because it's an acknowledgement of past wrongs left unrectified. Something known as buried, said Melissa Nobles, Chancellor of MIT and author of The Politics of Official Apologies. Man, these people, boy, these are a damn joke, bro. It says these things have value because, let me see, Salat, because it validates the experience of the survivors and acknowledges they've been seen and were heard, and we heard you. Yeah, okay. Well, what you gonna do about it, though? What you gonna do about it? All these empty ass apologies. So like I'm at to plug in real quick. I got 5%. I do want to finish this. I don't want it to die out. Okay, so Lakia. It says in Canada, also, Canada is just as bad, man. In Canada, a country with similar history of the subjugating indigenous people and forcing their children into boarding schools for assimilation, an apology from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in 2017 was followed by the establishment of a truth and reconciliation process and the injection of billions of dollars into First Nations to deal with the devastation left by the government's policies. No such commissions exist in the U.S. No, of course not. A bill to establish a truth and reconciliation process was introduced last year by Senator Elizabeth Warren, but it remains in the Senate. Man, I ain't about to do nothing like that, man. These white people, these so-called white people, they'll see Joe Biden apologizing for their nation, and they'll be talking all kinds of shit with that brewing hatred still in their hearts. Pope Francis, issued a historic apology in 2022 for the Catholic Church's cooperations with Canada's catastrophic policy of indigenous residential schools. saying the forced assimilation of native people into Christian society destroyed their cultures, severed families, and marginalized generations. I am deeply sorry, Francis said to school survivors. I remember this shit too. And they was actually presenting gifts to this motherfucker, man. Show you how gullible Jake is, man. Anyway, we don't have to go any further into it. But yeah, man, hey, you Edomites are not getting away with this, man. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So you Edomites, you're gonna reap what you've sown. Let's get Job 34 and 29 to prove that the Lord, he deals with nations, and he's gonna deal with you damn white people as a complete nation. He's not gonna just deal with the Pope or deal with Joe Biden or deal with a damn Trump individually. He's gonna deal with all you as an entire nation, from the elite of you all the way down to the poorest of you. Job 34 and 29. When he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a man only. So you nation, Esau became a nation of people. That's you Edomites today. You so-called white people, you're the Edomites. That's your biblical nationality. And you're going to pay for what your forefathers done, just like we had to pay for what our forefathers done. You might say, well, I didn't do anything. I had nothing to do. Yeah, that's all right. You're still going to pay. You're going to go into captivity as a nation. Revelations 13 and 9. Let's start there. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So you're going to go into the same captivity that you put us into. It's that simple. Let me see. It's another one. Gad coming back up, though. Trying to think how it was worded. Let me see. Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome in the last. So they've been overcome, but guess what? Those same so-called Native American Indians, tribe of Gad, which you done fucked over when you first came here, all the way up to this time period of now, they're gonna overcome you, man. Along with the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the rest. The children of Israel about to come back up, man. Let me see, though. Get another translation. Let's see what it says. The BBE says, Gad, an army will come against him, but he will come down on them in their flight. Let's see what else. The easy to read version says, a group of robbers will attack Gad, but Gad will chase them away. The NET says, Gad will be raided by marauding bands, but he will attack them at their heels. But prophetically, Gad is going to come back up. And you damn Edomites are going to pay for what you've done, man, to the children of Israel. And we know that you have that perpetual hatred, too. Let's get that Ezekiel. See, Esau just running about the earth, and he's just thinking that everything is just going to go like how it's been going. But what they should be able to see is that your country, or just your whole existence, is phasing. Your whole existence is falling, man. That's everywhere that you go where Edomites rule. You can go over to Europe, you can go to Paris, you can go to Italy, you can go to Germany, you can go anywhere in the world where there are so-called white people and they're ruling, and those places are turning into trash now. That's because they're reaping what they've sown, man. There's a bunch of countries that don't have no substance whatsoever, man, built on bullshit, bloodshed, and tears, man, of the children of Israel. Ezekiel 35 and 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So you bloody bastards, look at all the blood that you spilled in this land and everywhere else you've been. You had no problems with it. You sit down, you laugh, you giggle, you drink sherry, you're smoking your cigars, you laughing, you're twisting the end of those big ass mustaches. You know, you got your boots on the table, you proud as hell, you know, and you just would talk about the slang of our people like it was just some, you know, a joke and shit, man. Just comedy, laughing, giggling, we, you know, proud, you know. So now you're gonna pay for what you've done, man. There was another one I was thinking of, Slovakia. I can't think of it right off. But anyway, hey, yeah, you Edomites, man, y'all gonna pay for what you've done to the children of Israel, man. There's no doubt about that. And we can see it coming right now. The whole world is changing. The whole atmosphere of the world is changing right now. We're starting to see this right here. No, it's like 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. This is what's happening in the earth right now. These proud ass people with the nuclear missiles, they're being, everybody talking shit about you. Don't care nothing about what you got no more. You know, everybody telling you that you're a piece of shit. You know, and they don't have no respect for you no more. So things are starting to really change up for you, man. It's really about to get bad for you Edomites, man. Oh, that's the scripture that came to mind. Now it comes back. The Lord said, give y'all asses double. You're going to get double. Let me see how it's worded. You're going to get double of what you put out, man. See where it's at, Salakia. Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. See? So all the shit, just imagine that. All the atrocities that you've done, you're going to get that shit double? Bro. Oh my. I wouldn't want to be an Edomite for nothing in the world, man. It's nothing in the world that you can offer me to want to be one of you so-called white people, because the shit that's coming to you is going to be so harsh. Like for real. But I mean, this right here is a total waste of time. But I will say this is spiritual though. This is all about the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because that shameful spewing really is coming out on you Edomites. And the Lord, he requireth that pass too. I'll end out with that one. It's a lot. Listen, no, y'all not getting away with that stuff, man. All that old, can we all just get along now? That shit not working. Can't stand this damn. Damn iPhone won't let me spell out how I want to spell this out. I know I think it's in Ecclesiastes though. That's it, yeah. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and Yahweh requireth that which is past. So those things that you've done in the past, man, you're not going to get away with it. Matter of fact, the scriptures talks about how you thought that the Lord was one with you. You know, where's that? When you just thinking you've been doing this shit for so long and been getting down for so long, you actually really believe that the Lord is down with you, and he's not. What's that? Let me start at verse 18. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partakers with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. And that's no more than what Joe Biden is about to do anyway when he gives this apology. His tongue is going to frame some damn deceit. Verse 20 is the point. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Ooh, to the woo-woo. So, these Americans, these so-called white people, and not just the ones here in America, but they've been getting down for about 250, good 300 years straight down there, and they haven't had their punishment. So they actually thought that, white Jesus is really with them. They really believe that. When them so-called white people be screaming, God bless America, they really believe that there's a so-called white man in the heavens that's down with them. But what they don't know is there's a so-called black man that's going to come back and going to put their asses in the chains in slavery, and they're going to be in servitude, man, for 1,000 years and then destroyed. They have no idea. They really believe that. See, and the scriptures also talks about how they didn't really think things through. They didn't think it out like, are we going to have to pay for the shit that we've done to these people? No, they just think that, the shit is about to carry on, and it's not, man. So I'm going to end out there. I seen this, and I'm like, part of the job is to point this man out. It's like, calling the police on somebody that robbed you. You got a description of them. You got to give the police officers that description. That's them right there. That's him right there. Police line up. Nope, it's number 3. Are you sure, sir? Yep, I'm positive. It's number 3. You know what I'm saying? You explaining the tattoo you seen on his hand. He had one on his neck. He had a scar on his cheek. His eyes were blue. You remember it all. You're like, yep, he had blonde hair. That's him. That's him. He got the same outfit on and everything. Matter of fact, I got a chance to scratch him. I got some DNA under my nails. Would you like to, you got the DNA, you know what I'm saying? His DNA match. Like, come on, bro. Your ass is being found out, man. You can't hide from those crimes, man, that you done, man. And the Lord is not gonna let you escape. He is most definitely not about to allow you to get away with it, man. The Lord is righteous and just, man. So I'm gonna end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yasha Allah and a Bible boy.